Hi everyone, it's a while since I've checked in. I'm actually sitting on the ground here because sometimes getting on the ground is the best thing to do, just to get you grounded, I guess. It's been a bit of a crazy few weeks. I don't know if anyone else has been sensing it. How would I? It's definitely been overwhelming. I normally can contain and manage and figure through on my own, and I've definitely been reaching out in the space, and other clients have been helping and supporting me too. So there's definitely been more of a flow between in the journey of how we're supporting one another, which probably is how it really should work. Too much of this tier system of someone being up here and everybody else being down there is probably not how we really work in the real world, because we're all on journeys and we're all moving along, and some of us might be moving along more in this direction than that direction, and how we can all add to and support one another is probably really important. And so I've been noticing that. I just started listening to the energy update by Lee Harris. I find his work really good, but I tend to listen to his updates at the end of each month so that it helps me go aha to what I'm noticing rather than creating. It's just how I work. I like to work my way myself through things, and if I need the guidance to make sense of the themes, I'll then listen and it will make a bit more sense. And that's just how I learn. But certainly in the last few months, there's been a theme of relationships and what you want to fight to keep and what you don't feel you should fight because it's better to lose. In other words, relationships are never easy, in that there's two people in a relationship, and each of us as our individual selves are so important, and our opinions, and we all have our triggers and our wounds and our beliefs and perceptions, and hopefully we're all sort of on a path of change and introspection and shattering, the old beliefs and perceptions and replacing with new. We're all in different places in this. So this is where really good debates and conversations and arguments and conflict help us to grow, because they should shatter us a little bit. They should cause us to step back and go, where might I not have been seeing something? What can I learn here? How can I grow? How can I do this better? How can I manage conflict better? I don't think anyone likes conflict, and some of us lose our voice and get very fearful in our hearts when we feel like the ground is moving underneath us. So to master some skills to be present in these moments of high energy, where then there's the opportunity for transformation, can be a massive growth jump. And then when these are happening in our own personal relationships, it can be a huge opportunity for us to leap forward as a couple, or as a friendship, or as a business relationship. But I've noticed it's been very clear where you fight to grow and where you surrender and release. And that isn't always easy, especially to surrender and release a relationship, a friendship, a connection that just doesn't feel right. Like, now for me, I feel things very viscerally. So I always have to make sure, what am I sensing? What's it bringing up? What am I sensing from the other person? And how can I sense things should move forward? And for all of us, it's going to be different. But it's really important to honor just what our instincts are saying. Is it safe? Should I fight for it? Should I let it go? And to not feel bad, because sometimes those decisions are enabling both on each side to grow. There's no victim, there's no martyr. It just simply is. So we're neither side of winning or losing. It's just the path forward in time. But that's certainly been coming up. As an empath, the degree of sensitivity that I'm experiencing right now is sort of blowing me apart. It's been very wobbly, overwhelming, and I think this is where there's been communication and reaching out to other sensitives who I understand or who I resonate with in that they feel and sense things very similarly. So for me, I feel things in my body very, very much. That's my truth radar. That's how I navigate the world. But for me, I tend to feel things 24 to 48 hours before I have the full picture of what's actually happening. And because I'm feeling it in me, it hits that trigger for something's wrong with me. What is it? So the brain starts to spin over what's my latest symptom that seems to be running through me, and I have a bit of a delay still in figuring that through. Now everyone's going to be different. We all at the moment have to find our truth in how we navigate what we're sensing, what we're feeling, what we're intuiting, what we're dreaming, what we're downloading, what we're channeling. There are teachers and guides out there, and there are teachers and guides throughout history. And my truth is that those that have walked before us, the ancestors, the teachers, the guides, have a lot to share and empower us with. They're not in the here right now. The times we're in are just they're different. So add a layer on of what you're learning from other experts, even if it's 5 or 10 years ago. Like, we are in unprecedented times, just like in 5 or 10 years it will be in another 5 or 10 years. Just the timelines are moving so fast at the moment that for someone 5 or 10 years ago to be able to fully explain the right now in my truth is going to miss certain aspects that your truth and your experience and your soul and your heart is going to guide you with. So trust yourself. Also, how we feel and sense things, how we interact with people, how we work with people, and how our empath skills and gifts show up is a highly individual thing too. So what it means to have boundaries is unique for you. What it means to rebalance and allow the flow of this energy to move is true for you. How much you go into what you're feeling and sensing and intuiting or channeling is going to be led by you. So it's really important right now to actually stand in your being and trust yourself and listen for the wisdom inside that's going to guide you through the other way. So when we reach out to other people for advice and support and, you know, these conversations of what the fuck is happening right now, to also to gracefully and gratefully receive their guidance, and then to rumble it around and find what that means for you. So, and the same with when we give advice and support, that we're allowing the others to rumble around with it and find their own answers. So we have to take our egos out of that, okay? And also trust in how it feels for us. So for me, it's my process. I feel people before I'm with them. I download sensations and insights and symptoms and mental state of people before I'm working with them. And that's the way it is. It's not about boundaries or blocking it or stopping it, but that word, it's how fast I can do that work on my feet, instead of thinking, what's wrong with me and all of the other traumas and dramas that can spin because of our life journey, which can turn us into about us. I could be like, oh my God, my life is shit today, blah, 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 blah. But instead it's, okay, I'm sensing this. What does it mean? What do I do with it? How do I move forward and create a wonderful, playful, bliss-filled day? So if that's been showing up for others, we have to stop. We can't run from it. We can't decide, oh, this feels really uncomfortable, so I'm going to out-train it, or I'm going to outdo things, or I'm going to stay in my head and not in my heart. This is calling us back. This, hopefully I have a heart in under there, is calling us back. And the number of people at the moment challenged with autonomic nervous system or cardiovascular symptoms after COVID is coming through the heart and the nervous system, and it's calling us back to listen. We have been operating in a state of perpetual stress and sympathetic nervous system overdrive for decades. It's not sustainable. It's not possible. Our nervous systems are fried. So we have to come back into them, as uncomfortable as that is. We have to start feeling the unease, the ripple, the energy that's stuck in us, that electricity that wants to move. We have to stop to sense to move forward. Irene Lyon is amazing for support and educational content and courses to learn more about the nervous system. So there's just a few things. I've been quiet. I've not been feeling great, and I'm just figuring my way through it. I've had an injury. I've been very tired. I've had lots of, just in case this resonates with other people, nothing wrong with my ears, but it sounds like a spaceship over the house, this sensation sound, and it's been coming and going. And so I've just been trying to figure that. But literally life has ground me a hole to deal with a little bit of the unrest that I often have with how much I'm feeling from the world. So I'm being forced into the corner to learn even more skills and tools for how I show up for myself in life and how I show up for others in life. So when the flow is stopping around you, just ask yourself, what's the message here? Or wonderful podcast recently on the Rich Roll podcast. The doctor, the science of spiritual awakening. She's wonderful. I can't remember her name. Is it Lisa? Well worth a listen. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. I've rambled on enough. But I'm just sending you giant, giant hearts and love. And it has been a roller coaster in a tsunami of energy for the last while. And hopefully these storms that we're having and all the rain will bring the balance back, and it's all good. And if you want to reach out, do lots of love.